Yamamunyina Juma Wakwaba, Ediba UTV, so Brazil says, Valdoa Yesaka, Yabuano, Yade, Eba, Ebesomo. Yadi Asada, Emma, this way chocolate drink, a Ghana Kokoni, Yadia, Ede, Ayan Wanubi. Your best point savings loans and the best assurance. Special ice, natural mineral water, and drinks, how do they come in and a mobile chidom. And some of your dear Eban Gedimu Akutini Ebi Eni.
Man Penabe de Chid to Jim say, Usho Mangana Moa, a bang Modimba, what Bopum de Huno, a Bembia Antono.
Now, swap for sure, Pania Quantin Post, Waka Sadia to just say, Assembly Nunia, say, I would want a kaboom near Bre and Sugiri Anwase. Na, ye share Namahudo be a Ecoso May moi. A year Namahudo in your body, the actually ye go to Damon and as for the Dubia, ye Yansona, I say here, and also a bank say, Utuana Bon at Assaniam. Kukomo yene akasadia to just say, pinche, see ye bra ye trade deal, the decani de Tosumi, per se bim ebesi.
In so to an answer, a man for a quan which remove our Caswan and Potemuno, Caswa Quansono. I'm a boy catcher say, ye truck one who flew between me a faso, or Pimbra, the BCC Quandadano. Na books, one or more ye Ghana says, I buy Ash and romance Nasi and Cassa, ye better too. A semi count at the Bram Secas, but can come for your summon and you may a yame, a jar quabana, mene. A queer, a jewapadi. I think I said, Muslim ye. Ghana man penny abedi actually his excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia that to jai HM say aban modern ba work boss na be apom dun say betumi gina no wo de kwasa fama eto so nan ye amemu ahodo aba no ana sa aban ahodo aba no a aban ye wo ho sa bire no edi akoti no mu pa man penny kire say wo hwe agenda 111 anasi for training allowance ye de ma wo ne nasefo ne ma ahodo aban ye no edi dance to do so bi ani ho a obetumi twa wo mu.
As a government, our commitment to healthcare in this country, I believe, is unquestionable. We have tried to bring in interventions that will help our nurses, doctors, midwives, and so on. You saw the implementation of one constituency, one ambulance to revive the National Ambulance Service. 6 drone centers in Ghana, and they are delivering daily medicines, blood, vaccines, all of that to 2,800 health facilities in Ghana. And that is very significant, helping to save lives. So far, we have completed the networking of the teaching hospitals, the regional hospitals, and the district hospitals, so that when you are transferred from WA to Kumasi or Kolebu today, you don't need to carry your folder. Bring your ID number and all your data can be seen at Kolebu. And that helps. You see the patient's history and you can help save lives. You know the medications they've been on and so on. We finished over 300 hospitals in the networking, but the goal is to complete all hospitals by the end of next year. Steps are being taken to clear the backlog of unemployed nurses and midwives within the shortest possible time. By August, the clearance will be granted, I am told, for the hiring, the recruitment. So far, we've recruited over 100,000 nurses in this government and still counting. But of course, there's more to be done. With Agenda 111 coming on stream, there will be room to post a lot more nurses around. The minister has in fact sent me the evidence that by Thursday, this Thursday, the controller is transferring 177 million Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Health to pay the nursing training allowances. It is possible.
Nekrakra muno Dr. Bawumia ekasaye ede efa anurse for any midwives for womo ekraka efri amanone se emra ye wo duty waiver bia womo eye wo so eno ye twam ena Dr. Bawumia kirem se na enkrofo eye ema ne broso eno nam so ene ma wonu twam nenso say digitalization nti wo mbesan dia ba. I
believe that we are in a new era. We are in an era of digitalization. We are in an era where we can stop abuse because we can track everybody. We have stopped abuse in controller database. No more ghost workers in Ghana, because we are requiring that every worker be identified by the Ghana card and their fingerprints. And since no ghosts don't have fingerprints, they've all run away. So that was a problem that we use digitalization to solve. And we are saving hundreds of millions, over 700 million Ghana cedis, as a result of taking away the ghost workers. So if we can do that, we can also make sure that the incentives that we provided nurses and midwives in terms of waivers of import duties, once we engage, we can put in place the systems to make sure they are not abused.
Enrajo ensua etoy na nyensu kitwa kra nam soma adehia omo ekokaswa edi abene na ene oswafo hwe akwane akwantimpo so munyamfo Francis Asenso Boachi atu anan akohwe sedi ohana no din esitie wokoye no wakasadi tudwa chem se ebere aso se assembly ahodo no ene aso hwe akwane akwantimpo so na afenso aso ya ehwe nyuma ni adansie so moto kese na baabi etwa fatase yi bonka na se drainage wono yenhwenye na ensuyiri ano embrase.
Yeah, traffic power this part of Accra, N1 road here, Africa Soa, they call Winnibano. Na it's say a choir seminar, this traffic abentino. Now Ubia him say Minister of Roads asem. And now no pay no panana engineers from the Ministry of Roads and Highways a bar site ya be here who say a storm drain be a ne ha a Ministry of Western Housing Contractors and a and no nioma no and a ma debris ne ania be nsuo ni nyina we push no ba ekwan mu it's not ma the eastbound carriageway the N1 na ma a blocko be ntimi nko enti na uzo hanso traffic o ha cars na ekọ ha no doors o enti na ma one way pen e wo ho enti na no mu nyina yusu na ekofa problem ni nyina bae na ba ya nya asante ase no quickly no na nyame chad no so me so no mebre twam na me ya adwuma o Ministry of Western Housing ema project we cry project me ho na start e de bia na me ka say storm drainage very important. Na baby and na yemfa sikan ko shem say the road no your road be brace asay because yentimi nya storm drains we baby this is one example till na me can brofum say there is a causal symbiotic relationship between the work that we do at the Ministry of Roads and the work of the Ministry of Western Housing under the Ghana Hydrological Authority. Na e be share na de bako ehun ni say coordination here between the assemblies, the Ministry of Roads and the Ministry of Western Housing. As I say, you shemu kena, shemu ding. So the beya we who say obi e na dwuma. In fact, problem we say no me blame Ministry of Western Housing. Omo there, omo problem no more address. Na do na kra no we blame this assembly no. Because the honum nyina say na say omo ma permit amanipa now I construction why I say the effect that will have in terms of construction in near one na ebubu ACC dan it is nsuo no to a bibia no atichi nsuo no the force e ho so say people so e be stand force na dia begu hanom.
And now saw how create contractor or yes kwan no Winiba and the Kaswa Quantimpo no ejumeko e friend no Nag Philmont Construction Company wo director of operations Robert Jackson that tudwe chire mu se sebe na kwana ba betumi akona nimu ti no ejumeko na twa abomu kwan makomako enan ade ama hyenkafo
kwan no yedu oye bodobro ma de ho da abobai da kwan na ase nti o de yeyi fi ho ansana ye tumi ye de en concrete na egu na ya ye overpass no ono nti na ye twa kwan no when the Ghana had obiara pressure nti ye ka say diversion ya no 40% of the cars no one offer nka na ina wa ba for the old road yeah on wa on na ma traffic but those are when who kwan na wa for of oil diversion road no on the sabi traffic biara yi ho Can you if you Accra Besina call Cape Coast Takrade Elmina whatever diversion here too Oti can here oye Opekuma Junction eba for ya kwan na abana ya kwan dada nti ba ya bi atwada da kwa kopi ebreku ba fa Opekuma loye apra na kopi ebreku auto there bi nso ye Crispo City Junction ono so diversion da hwa nso bebesi oye Golden Gate Junction na oche there e fa hwa na eyi oye Dr. Jesus ba fete kakaba traffic ni na eden ebuechi basoro a ono so du fete kakaba Calf University ho ono so kwanda hwa bebesi oye Las Vegas Junction ho na me che the way na ya call one of your sister stations oye Pink but Ghana yi opehwenti obia pedo oba no be bohwe de wose wo pay aboba yo ha wose wo ye den wa ha ebiade no horokodo ho ono ntina mu kwan another cars in bebrebe there one na mai ya nde say ye trotro now you don't have anything doing from Dr. Jesus to Big Abra man fa but for taxi drivers now for anything ono so there's another road order ha obotum wa fa do baby a school one day teacher for na kasa na yete oye safety mask no so ye die den ye dey jewa mo be ya school for mo fra ba no wontum fa one and one cross mba baby a here to amran one so far so good for the first 2-3 weeks the yen any casualty bia ya mental so ye black no so yen casualty bia nti so far so good ye good ye mpada ye boy there today ma woma wo ha wa boy ma bibia nsi won kwado na won boy dem ateta ma ye ba ye kwan na wi na ye na ye ho atwen
nurses and midwives say Ghana has say no mo tell to kwakọ amonone ekope yedie ema wo ho eno entina Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association omobalo deni owurayire perpetual fori ampofo e dia todwa say abantinani ehwe nurses yie na omonka do munye adwuma nyesa dachi ankwa mabi no ebeha o my Ghana yapomuden senkaye
Abra Uraire perpetual ofuri ampofo edeni nsem etudwa ewo afiwe nurses day no dwumedie no ase no oka kire abanse obesre wonmu ada omomfa ensem yi anibre so na wonfa wani mehwa nursefo ewo womu dwumedie mesanse womu dwumedie a wonum eye no enyoma bi etwintwan wonum anemu ema wontumi nye adwuma no sede ese na efata.
It is our view that the single spine salary structure needs a total review to reflect the realistic and decent pay that nurses and midwives deserve. Our younger colleagues in training are also waiting for their trainee allowances, and our unemployed nurses and midwives are also waiting to be employed. Still on conditions of service, there is the need, an urgent need, and we plead with you, Your Excellency, that Cabinet should approve the rural incentive package developed by the Ministry of Health with support from the World Health Organization. We are also pleading for the reinstitution of the vehicle tax waiver. We enjoyed it in the past, and it was taken off by the next government. The first time when it was done under President Kufuor's time, it was done for all of us, and there was no discrimination. But we understand the abuse that happened. And that is why this time we are saying, if it is going to be done, we should be involved as association and as unions, because we know our members, we have the data, we know all of them.
And which you know, what it was manufo nyina nim say, Sabri ya ye ba beto abai, womo enye nyoma yie, na womo nsem womo kano, enya asumdwe de esanse, asumdwe nkuto ena oman no ehia. Ma womo enkofa nsem bia mehihye mu, ekoba saa, entimi ma nurse fo nso, womo nya asumdwe mfanye wonum adwuma.
Your Excellency, on behalf of the association, we wish you well in your bid to take up the ultimate mantle of our land and to lead Ghana to greater heights. We as an association humbly call on you, all political parties, their leaders and their followers, and the general citizenry to put Ghana first at all times and ensure that our peace and democracy is protected during this year's election. We have witnessed what has happened in other countries in our African region, and we do not want same for Ghana, our motherland. We therefore call for peace to enable us continue taking care of all of you.
ewie ye twan ho kwaje agbafo nkrato ye dikan ye koba dia kan ye de beto so montwe
Yama ye ho akwa ba fe yetu akase bo ne so.
Osofo wono no hwe obo ade ebo bre niam ode adom yen ene fagudie hu niam so oniafo John Abuginapo Samuel Abuginapo eda tudwa echirimu se Bogoso ene amafo president ni potemu nka makomanto yem esanse Bogoso president godis tajumeku asese ya dane no aye future global resources no omo be yadwuma yie paase ne be betumi abo amamfo potemu no echimi ne adwuma ye
Abra osofo a wono ene hwe ensase ene obade nneoma ode adom ye ede ensem etudwa no o kire se na ni twemu pa se ene adwumayefo ene enkura hodo no eye a wonom ebre wonnam ohaw mu pa ni nyina no eye mining sector no a sabri wokọ mmria hodo a wo mutu fom agudi a go no enunti aban soso aye na dwen se obehwe no apagya ni nyina
honorable Barbara Tinjesi akadada yeba na ya be pantoma na mompotemu ha monya Himan and Cobra community mining ne ye hihye no kire ne se ye pesa amanfo be kotu agudie wonsu na se ye nsu ye pesa amanfo be kotu agudie wo ye kwaye mu na se ye kwaye nanso nipa baako kontenkura onkwa ntimi nyesika enkotu agudie ni bi enti dey say community munyina mo kambo se ne ayabai na mine a ye ba be bi mranche be nya adwuma ni bi aye nkete so be nya adwuma ni bi aye sebe sika kakra be bo bobotum a mo nsa be ko ma no be ma no mutum oduane mranche be nya sika be tobi nkete so be nya sika be tobi na ne ebroni potoka se nya kano community mining will propel the local economy of Himan, will propel the local economy of Preserve Valley. That is the noble undertaking and underpinning behind community mining scheme. And also to have a hand in.
I feel or the Shishafo for small scale mining. Said the better illegal mining. We bet you more free illegal activity. I bought no more yellow of my papa. And the community mining scheme by it. It's baby mining one. Yes, fire. The Benya baby. We are share and maybe now or more community no and why you demand the community mining scheme. Yamia Dom and now Priscia, your baby Himan and Cobra community mining scheme. Nani America say and maybe no a more person we age. About so I already said about brown. No more you demand our
Since no be a committee man, when you have been on down as a banning your be our Obotundama and man no more to a juma near two attacks. Chance about the one for so behind it and Fasonoso. Ushe Dumasua, or more than a chiwa, man's going to approach to almost 15 years in the house. Omunya Jumabio, but so the Mabana community as a community near Juma, Casas, a baby, I cried after again. My pleasure, I akofo but this one my jumana akosoma bia wa bia nya wode se cheche bia ede enim
ene Accra High Court eko asetina na asetina mu no panyina kane na wo hwe aban ade toso ena wogina adaka mu meche owura ageni mu boaten agei na ne kwadu ede abono enye ne ho asem ne beka chepa na doso so na special prosecutor ena asem no eda na bema wo hwe tu wanamo ebro mo ekoye no special prosecutor ye principal attorney a obaye no eye Mame Adelaide Kobri Wood na wode tudwa echire mu ese omuhwehwe mu omo aye ne ho krata smeso mutimi di ba mo fa maye entompa court no achew na kudie nti achere ne se sa enkrata na doso pa to behia brani adaje ansana omo atimi ahwehwemu awie enam suma pm panyina wote adwom ade to nanim kiremu se munya ne ntem na momfamra na yenhwe ma management conference hye no entimi koso ema obia enuti asem no watu ade ahye mede toso aduonu baako na eno na panyina yebo ne kwadu owura agye ne boaten agye ensem foforo enan ayede ato ne soso ebi ne se wodi omaiga na nim na wamoya boka ne niema wudu bebreka ho no wosene nada no woni hufo ena court ene se asem no yetu ade sheme de toso aduonu miensanti sabre no na special prosecutor watimi di ne hwehwemu ni nyada nkrata aba bedan court
Edin three ya ekoso yi na national organizer de ma NPP ama yuku no NPP mpanyinfo bi akɔbɔ apro ɛwɔ ɔman etifi atɔi mantam ahodoɔ nyinaa mu na no de kokɔbɔ amasa wo a wonya Ghanani a wa wadwene sɛ obetwire udin sɛ Ghanani no twisan esanse sense so mu a ɔman mra ɛne obedi
ifi yo so ne bufi ko akotomra ifi akotomra na yeko ifi inchi ne ba na deso so am constituency and ifi so am ne ba bitu dwabuso ifi a ne be che bia is ene bia west so far metimi aka se ba bia makobia de ehodi emoma ya na wonya report kakra se mentimi ho ase kakra bi ba pominu bi pi nanso no ya yehwe na yetimi resolve Mesre say Jumadi no emrada but what about what you say about baby no ebe kumaja nti emfa mbra na nyadwuma no bia anya no ho say afina be se me sem dabi enti Mesre me ba ha manya report go happen tin kakra but so far na e good I'm happy with the information amenya enai meda regional executives no so meda mase ne constituency executive bia makobia no say edadin enti ye be chese nkoso sa na emom no Mesre isi se wo hwe ono an figures no hwe go ebu ha medu a me se enipa no abodom pem ho pa edwaboso a ejina sisi e ba me se nipa no go ha pa ye call se hwe oso so no me se nipa no go pa in fact nkoma ya no mu ni media ne se nkomunya ebre ni bia ka ho a ye bebo enti Mesre se isi so hwe ne dwumadie mu no ho se obetimi de da ba pomienu na nsa bi kwa ka ho de amaye na etimi register ye mofra ye wofa ase ye ma omukwa omu register undi na nkebebo
na NDC amayoko no edinkrata babontene ama coordinator wono mu edidem mu dexa wo NDC no da no eye comrade Frederick Aso wono ena ne nsahase na ensem nada no eye Disability Act 2016 no section 18 no na wo kiremu se wo 2020 mu no NDC amayoko manifesto no page 74 na ewo mu se NDC abai no babetna abenwa kese so obehwe ama wono mu edidem a wo mu omaiga na mase no etimi akosukusu ya pon a eye kwa a obiada anyi omu suku fees na so 2020 aba ye to ye no NDC entimi ani nkunim enti e wono mo manifesto ni krampo afiwe se de ne krampo no wo mo edebeka ho omonkoda mesori ya omanya nti ye se NPP aban ane nam ekeka se wo mo ebeyo saade no ene no mo echirem se ye no ane se na amene se wo ba befo obi adwene po na wo de agina so aye bibi abra ni pakro no krampo no unyina suti anase woni mu hwene ya de bia enya ekotia wase se eba enwumahia senkaye a NPP fo wo 2016 manifesto ni mu no omo page to so ha ne aduonu miensa omo si omo bank on behwa ma enkoda asabi omo adidem yenya akade papa ade akere omo ade na akyerɛkyerɛ fo so mbagye ntitiye wo mu nso anya nimdeɛ ade akye omo ade bepim sambre no omo nya ho hwe eniema bi omo kan ye de fa wo no omo adidem ho no mo entimi nkantinya afei aye 2024 namba be krokro ma defe wo mo enam tumi ene aba mo pe afiro mo enchentia enti NDC amayoko no eye disability dex mpenifo ede tudwa kyerem se wona asabi omo adidem no omo nim ohaw a MPP fo de omo afam wona wotho buto ya pam wo mo ama sese omo nya adwuma nya nyina ne yade bi hadwene enti nya afe na mo beye we ya ne mo ka ne nyina po no kenken kwa enkonkosi hwe na tirimo po no eye NDC fo po diadada
yebe sentina we so akoto nkreto so mienu yeba yebeto aso
Yamaya ho akwa ba yetu akase bone so.
Yakwa santimantemo ye de ni chire adwoso ne ne potemu na aba beto dwase nansan enkane assemblyman na wo kwamo a ye frɛ no ofori anane de so bo ebo kwamo hene na na wusu nyanin se na na ton ensase wo kwamo nyina ama sie yempo na na ton de aka ho na na macha kunyo wo kwamo ayesa twofo him da to dwachem se ensam ankane assemblyman member na eka nyina no enye no kore
tina nkonwa ye wo kwamo ye wo adeso kropon mu asante mantam ha atremu a wo enkane assemblyman ya no wo kwamo owura ofori anane ensem bia wo kan ede fa wo hene nana owusu yanin ho no entwa ye kura wo sensem a wo kan hina no kura bia anim se wo se nana owusu yanin enkonwa no ho nsase hina waton afe waton kro no amusieye ene kro no library hina so waton ade aka ho eno na nana no matina nkonwa tremu sem sa kwadu obo hina no kura bia nim so se ne wasia ka ade no sisi abefo ntentan video so se ne video no edi ahim ho no egu nananom anim ase ensantrafo nhie mu omoye wo kwamo ahemfie eho ena nananom ahemfo de sansem ohina to dwo mu chrem se sa kwadu a ofori anane ebo hene no kura bia anim anu ntimo manfo no emfa nye asempa wo mo se de wo ye hina ne so pese wogu nana owusu nyanin ene nananom anim ase anu nti na wo ye sa no ntimo obia pa na asem no enye asem
ensem wo wura ne kan ye no ba kokura ni ho ye no kore honabo John Kuma efiri mo no a no mo beye by election na omanpenini na nado ene ne mpenimfo ba ekrum ha ombe chi ayi wura ena atankonya entina ese yensu yedi won chi ko baabi omo ye rally no na ye wura okokrom ebretia no enti oduru ye no na omanpenini abedi akire nso abedu ya announcement so abedu ene ye friend say ye wura omanpenini abedi akire abedu o entina wontimi nkofie so okozisa no ho akofrantoma kana ma wo sha atare de bae owura ne so wonte ase so wo sha atare ba rally na ase de wotu no ho ade so anukure bia anim ne adi ho o se wakọ ensamampo makotu nananom ena nkese nana ope gold awie nti na ma wokotu ye eno so nukure bia anim ewura bae entoto ya ne wo ye first school ho adan ye sisie ene ho kron ba hu se library no baabi edi asie no ewo krom na face no ehosha unya baabia ye beye extension ne bibia wo ti de bae ne se ode tompanifo anim ne committee fo nyina anim se o se yi firi ho na ye kopɛ baabi fufu fi se wo school asase kakraka to makwan edi dwumadie champanifo be mienu miensansa ye start twa blocks egu ho ya de make nkura no se sika ye library sika wo kan 100 million wo bank note mtisi a eda enti dia brantie ne kan emu bie no aye no kre
ono ka se yewura bae onye hwe sabi yewura na akwa amhene bae obetena akonwa so asfalt free junction so sa ba ebeka kuri anim one yiye yewura na osunya ani obae wasi toilet 40 sita water closet a ma ne mema enyina ewo sabi ofula nane no wayɛ ho mambɔfo ɛna opɛ so se kuri na kuri anya ne dia a wɔno toto ayampe asa kwa mu kuri nyina ne dia sesi am wo ha ke ba kwatwiri de na ba ha nanso asante amane sabi so obi ka asam to wo hene so anya ntokwa ɛse ya mane hunu se kuri nya ne dia eti ne ya mama nyina asante man nyina ne Ghana man nyina te se yewura na osunya ne ɔno nkoa ne kwa mo hene sabi sante hene di kuri na hye ne nsa so ofula nane so ofiri hene ati mbe ka asam kyere na osunya ne a no akasa champanyfo ne atia me
See something, say something. To aba ye boy beboa ne ade ye ho so ebra ye ho obi anasa bibi koso enye papa no ye beka ho asem eho da obo no mpenifo de akwa koduru mantifi mantemu nam so ama coordinator me kire penyina wono na see something, say something oda no oru ayire akosua dankwa akasa de atudwa se eho hia pa se Ghana fo ye ni ebeda wo se abo wo ne abo ye ho ba fi se bambo no eye wonsum ti ye hwe ne na ye ho so na obi emfri ye chi amefri ya raw
Best said now church-me and I bar Northern Region. Yes, share your campaign. I see after its launch, no Northern Region there and the 11th region. Yaba and it's memo for 18 Kitahon Efa or Mahu Bambo and some. Since I think Tuesday, we arrived on Monday, Tuesday. And they start the engagement. We've been to all 14 out of the 16 districts in the region. we round it up your engagement no ewo northern region ne etine no yakokɔ nsɔre mu ene omso akwakodin kita ho sebe ya omso betumi age yensem no atum no ma hu hia som be form ho bambo personal na oma fan yie no matumi abo ho ban abani abanyina nimpo so ho bibia entwe ya omatumi ayi bambofo asuche na omatumi abdoma ba behye adekon sebe ya bintumi ma medi enya anase bomefo ma mefa oman no nomu so far so good baby yakobia ahemfo ho assembly members opinion leaders schools ayakọ and sorry akono befa so madi asem no asopam omo any so the aban eye through the Ministry of National Security the message e wo mo say mema omo mfa enioma tra abeni abenya no number bia na ma wa ho bambo ehu hia na wo ho a hwehwe opotemu omo bibia entwe yi a wayi bambo for asuche anase ye to feel like dia tuja 999 ofra na oni achakase bia pesa okan bia no ofra ma yehu say bia pesa okachi pesa okan bro pesa okan dagbani kasa ye comfortable mu no o ma yehu a omo the other side na ma receive calls no ebepe nipa otumi ka okasa no otumi no wadi nkita ho na adekuna wahu no otumi akache nti kasa na ya asem wadi na mo ane say wo bibia can baby when you see something say something.
I had some interaction with some group of landlords, and I was telling them that we should be very much interested as to who rents their place. You see, many landlords are just interested in the revenue that they get from those who rent their places. They don't find out about their backgrounds. I would say that is very dangerous. I have been dealing with your national security officers in the region on some of these issues because you see people rent a particular place, they don't come out, they're always inside. One person gets into the house, another nobody.
Na se le to dwa se wo mo a ekro broni wewu efia ma no ne ba man Ghana mu ha no wo mo magana ye fi papa bebi abefa bi broni wewu ama efia me ne Ghana panya sem koma kra sa se me pie ye no ena woni a edi sa ebroni wo hu dwa a wo hye guta sense ntwofo hye ma dwam tire ne won kran ha owura Jeffrin Abrokwa edi chirichiremu a edi mu ede magana ene wiase nyina
adwadifo bese wo pepepe mienu achiripo num meche 2.5 million ena wonum eye adwuma a ewo adwaman so anase womu edwom a wonum eton fosu ewo Ghana memu ase na wohwe fosu adwuma no a de etimi boa oman sikasem titiru ene ye treasury no a ose wohwe nkontabuo 2022 a na ye 29.5 million US dollars ene etimi de boa ye ewo sa kwan no so afei se wohwe nyoma a wo mu kra free amanoni se fosu no eba no a eno so wo ha mu nchichemu aduokunu enum ena ye Ghana de hia wo mu edidi dwuma ebio so hwehwehwemu no eba ye no a wo se de ye bola a wo makra fra manoni aba no ye tugu no e ho mu nchichemu enumpe na chese no enoso na we mu nyina no enam so ama nsem bi enenam mframam ne nam sentwro adwumanum e kire se sa fosu nyoma ya wo mu de beyi e yade a ama esei obaade nyoma atwa ye ho ehia me kire ye environment no eno enam so ama ekoyi e de nsem aba betu dwa kire se
the most highly or abundantly occurring item within the waste they indicated was plastics. And the plastics was the first, and that accounted for actually more than 50%. The second was paper, then they talk about metals, and then the list in there was clothing. So I'm still trying to fathom how we still argue that clothing is the number one items you see on the field. Certainly, this is not it. The first is plastic, followed by paper, then metals, and then you have clothing.
All foundation for actual letters be they call European Union or Omoka BB against use clothing ayeshipo eba omanga nemu. No more kanya can say and name bar about 40 to about 50% air trash. Ye two enemy na egu bolaso. Maybe component brunu for na ya to bola egu ama odo na emu ayama. Omo kanya ka se brunu wo for na ya to bola egu what do you call it Water River na afa some no say na adoso ka kire aban say aban enka hu say ene gana fo nyina hu say nipa eye bono wadwuma eye over 2.5 million omo etonum na yenso ye hye no so no ye doso papa ye doso pa na aban enka hu say bono wo so the taxes ema
second-hand clothing was one of the bebia ebedibwa on my manum aban so nya ho faso in terms of taxes, but there are social impact. You get job, government to get taxes, but there are the opposite side of the gains. Part of the jobs you are getting now are not skilled jobs. So, and then part of the taxes or part of the imports are also affecting your forex exchange. And even though Papa disadvantages, so it's up to us to wait.
Second-hand clothes, say Ghana hakra first no say garment industry no eboom and egu there's a gap. Who fills the gap? Bonine and Abe fill a gap no assume Ghana for ABC Samri economically and clothing wise and raw materials making. It is a do time where yen sabekoya no and local production your friend self-sufficiency. Then we are self-sufficient. Then we use it. Even there, your choices as people. We be on more better than what they call sorry. No at all folks are what do you do more kitchen and just sanity. Your preference.
Na Ghana Publishers Association meche wono mutintinti muma Ghana asen kamuko omoba no deni owura asare kunadu iyamoa enene wode atodwa se eto a egu omadwuma ne so ne do so pa enu ti se aban anhwe ene omo antena se anka yi bi enfiri so amo omodi a ene efiti June bosome no ekro no books ahodo beba montin so betum homu nchemu aduasa ekopum aduana 40 to 30 to 40%.
Ghana Publishers Association ene Centrofo di Nhyiamu e Accra Press Center ene abra wonum ene Centrofo kasa no ene odi adesrede to aban no ene oswafo a ohwe nwomahia enim se wono wontena se na eto a wode eto materials a wokra free amanone eba ye nwoma ede boa nwomahia no won betimi atesu eyiye president awoda ekuya no owura asare kunadu yamwa e kasa bio no wo kire se so hwe vatia da enyoma omukrefi amanone no a eyo hamu nchichemu aduonu nso akiripo num 27.5% na edoso dodo eno emwa omadwuma na omoye no emfaso bia emaso.
In business, so many factors come into play, and being patriotic comes with a cost. We believe that developing the local book industry is good, but challenges that militate against the industry has to be removed to make us all think about Ghana. We therefore urge the government to have a rethink of this tax policy on books and offer parents and people who are providing services in the education sector some respite. We are ready to meet with government agencies, particularly the Ministry of Finance and Ghana Revenue Authority, on this issue and propose for consideration innovative and progressive measures that will improve the business environment in the industry and potentially make Ghana the printing hub of West Africa. If we are all thinking about Ghana, then dialogue and consultations will have to be the anchor of government's relationship with business. Until such conversation is initiated, we have no option but to increase prices of books. Starting from June, prices will go up between 30 to 40%. This decision was not easy to make considering the difficult challenges businesses and the citizens are faced with. We therefore seek the understanding of Ghanaians as we have to protect our businesses from collapse.
Enu echiri no wasan edeto asweye hwe nwomesua so say wonum de omo ka 320 million eno eye opepepe ahasane aduonu woka kire omo say we eye vision mienu enefanie ena omo de textbook a eno eye standard based curriculum omo sesa no ede koye wontua wonka eno so omo hwe enka ho asem.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education has been unable to pay for textbooks ordered from publishers under the standard-based curriculum to totaling about 320 million Ghana cedis. And even that could not satisfy. That order could not satisfy their objective of one child per textbook and has not been able to supply to schools the complete set of required textbooks for all the subjects. So what will be the motivation for the ministry to proceed to commission a publisher to develop textbooks for the Common Core program when books it ordered on credit some 2.5 years ago have not been paid?
Nansia di twere ye koso ye nyina hu de siye ewo kukom ene ne potamu se nipa memrantie abetia bariba wi bi ntokwan na wo nya sankotu bi nkwatwutu etoto ye na no ena kukom hene eye osa hene kwaku atachi otoso bi ndi atudwa chirim so wo mebe sa etutwasem ewo na asase so no obo mu kokko so bi nim na so ba ho bio a emra ene ni bedi
ya se bi utu krum na nipa bonfo bi asa bi edi enimomo edi atuo abebeba na esi dintwere nti sabi dintwere den senka nye bone kukom awowo bebre wa ha ene yedin esi kukom ni atututuo abla kukom ni ba bia sabi enkura sikama bi ne so akofra tuompo enti ade na amamla ya yi ye saman sabi nipa bonefo nyina ma yesuo ne yenkonwa ane sabi ensamanfo se kuro nom digaye no aya sombie kuro obi a obebo ntimu pose ofiri baabi na obeba be sha ase no be yibo be di bone ama se bi kuro no agi di bone de ene se bi yeso ni nimaye enti na mamle sa na kire enti obi a obo ntimu po bi o baabi bia no o ma ne nka ho mo won fa ma enye se adaachi bi no se bi obenya sunsun sanso
nipa da sani se ye twa di kwano a na wo sisa minutions egu kamu so wo de ko ba bi aye twere ayi no adan adi ben na esi such people no me plea na say mo identify san nipa no na asotwea o se mo de mama san nipa na be example for the youth, example for the citizens. Said by ya, sir, to trust someone here, you know, be MBU. Now, by a good example to say, Kukum citizens, no. And I'm saying, young pay one some, you will control over the citizens, no. We are no more one. Bibiano, your name. Ye youth no ye ene nananom ene elders aye ye wo kromase ye law abiding if that one no aye wo mu ba kura nya no wo bi a wo da kura no wunya baby ye ni ama baby wo bi a wo say rent na ya de yi wa ya oh na stool no kura no etumebuawo sani ya diti kuruma
idi ezeze ubia ne beye adwuma ho bia no ma ne yemu hihye no se bia di kukom de oba kwa ye adwuma ho a na tutrasem se ne okumu ye besre Ghana mayina se gesi ye no enye kukuma ne sisi ye sole a na nanom ye kwa ya mamre ye dwan fita abo ho ye sole akwa ya mamre yesu num eni ensamanfo ni abosom umuni sa nipa na ba bi o modwan ko se bia no mu na nam hwe mai e se soli free ha e ko ya mamre ne wani mo ya ma Ghana fo nyina wo se yikukumfo na ye sa de no
ewie yebegina kuku ma hene ne manfo nsem so na ne hemfo nsem so ne de kasebo ni nyina esi e de asidama special session special drink ne bia koma this way chocolate drink and coffee drink afi ni fufu ene itabekwajewa
medi asida e maloless locks natural hair so ye miti e de ma me natural no me locks na me guso a me rock ne sa no number no ye 0244 423201 medin de akua ejiwa akodi emeni
eja kwabena da mu nyina ase ama mo ne hwe